Hey, welcome to episode 9 of JS News. And today with me is JJ. Hey.
Hey guys. Hey Peter.
So, yeah, we have a bunch of news, a lot of them actually, to talk about. And let's go with an intro first and then we'll figure it out what next.
DevSpresso.
And we're back. So, let's start with the first topic, which is state of CSS. Hey, I love it.
Yes,
so
definitely.
State of CSS is open, and what is important, this survey is for you, for developers, to put your opinion about what's cool or not cool in CSS. So every single one of us can see what is interesting in the CSS world. So go to the link that you should have in the description. As far as I think,
Definitely.
And that's it. That's the news. CSS state of CSS is open for your opinions.
Yeah, for us it's very important. Like we'll be definitely talking about the output of this survey because this is one of the the biggest one that collects this data, and also the creators of the survey, like they've created it. They were, as I remember correctly, they were working with web animations, like mostly this kind of data visualization, this kind of thing, right? And it's very pleasant to look at the data there and see it. Also, I'll be using State of JS report from last year today, so like it's a very convenient tool and it's worth to like leave your opinion there.
Yeah, exactly. So now let's go to further news, and that is that Web Consortium, so V3C, has a new website. Like they actually worked on this website for 3 years, as far as I remember. There were a lot of alphas, betas, and now they are deployed the final version of it. You can go there. What is cool is that this new website is actually a whole lot better than before.
It's like different level, right?
It is a little bit different level. It's easier to navigate on it, to get all the information that we need from Web Consortium whenever there is a new standard there or something like that. It is so much easier to just go and see what's going on. So I love it. I love it very much. And as you might expect, this new website is actually 100% or nearly 100% accessible. So it's perfect.
Yes, of course. I think that there are a few things that I like to say about this topic. First thing is that this blog news on their website is so short.
Yeah,
it's like 3 paragraphs. Hi, we launched a new website. If you want to talk about it, there's a GitHub here, and goal of the design was to achieve cleaner, modern look and greater usability. And cheers. And that's it. And it's so cool. This is exactly what I would expect from them. Other than that, full design system is available. Full CSS design system. I'm impressed. I've seen some design system, and this design system is like created flawlessly. Like the information, like what is where, why, how, and how to use it is great. I think that 3 years of work. I'm really interested in process, in how it looked, who they worked with, how all this thing worked out. It's very interesting because this web page, it's a definition of our work, right? It's like this is the place. So there are many times where when I've been here and I was looking for information, it wasn't so easy. Also, they are in a stage of transferring to a new design, but it's already clean and looks so. It's like I want to go there. It's like Mozilla did their update, or Wikipedia. Wikipedia also did a great rewrite and design system, and they were working for years. It's like there were many voices saying that Wikipedia, like during the Wikipedia change, it was like, what did you actually do? And why did it take so much time? And so on. It's like, man, I don't think you understand how much work goes into this kind of things, right?
Yeah.
But I have one question. When I go to the to one of the pages, it's like getting started. On getting started, you have side menu, and then the main text is moved a little bit to the right because of side menu. Normally, when there's a side menu, then the text is on in this place. But when there is side menu, for example, with getting started, there is only one position, getting started, and there is a text. And if you scroll to the bottom of the page, there is copyright 2023 Worldwide Web Consortium. And my question is, why it's aligned with a side menu, not with text? When I seen it, like first time when I've seen it, it's not aligned with text because side menu pushes all the text to the right. And I know people are not looking so much into footers and it's not so important, but I was so surprised because of that decision. It's like, if there's a side menu, let's push it, let's make it align with text, not with side menu. But that's just my opinion. And that's only thing that I can say. It's like, it's questionable for
that's
me.
a little bit. That's a little bit weird because I can see that on the bigger screen, everything is aligned, like it is centered. Actually, it is centered, and it
but side menu also makes sense because there are many points in side menu, right? Like there's something to be, and then like, just it's just still, a little thing.
It's just a little thing. But I love what they did. They changed the whole architecture underneath.
Yes,
and what is important. They moved from self-hosted documents to CMS, and what they use is Craft CMS. So that's very, very cool that they're actually using what the industry is using mostly. So they're using headless CMS as a first thing, and another part will be a website by themselves. It's perfect.
Yeah, there are templates provided because of they've created this design system. It's totally free and available. It's just great. I'm really. It's not like it's gonna change my life, but I'm really happy that the company organization of this size is providing, even more because obviously they are providing most of the things for a lot, when it comes to definitions. That's cool. It's worth looking into. Maybe it would be easier for people right now just to go there and check their info, because not once and not twice I needed to go there to find definitions to prove to some developer that he's mistaken. It wasn't very easy. Right now, maybe he'll find it on his own.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, it is easier. So yeah. Cool.
Yeah, maybe people will start using it more often.
And if there are new updates, there was actually a big update, I would say, but it's just a maintenance update. Well, like in the set, it's Svelte 4.
Yes.
So
Svelte 4 updates, like, the blog post it's pretty short, but it's pretty straightforward. They stating clearly this is maintenance update, and we of course know it needs to be in version 16. Like there are updates to the biggest packages that they are using, Webpack 5, of course, and when they started using Webpack 5 and it's required, of course it's smaller and quicker. So I'm not surprised that in a section what's new I see performance tab, and performance of course what we always see, which is better, faster, stronger, and this is actually better, faster. The build size nearly 75% lower. It's like from 10.6 megabytes down to 2.8. Well, that's cool. That's optimization. Cool. I'm happy with that. Svelte Kit, also had some upgrades, but when it comes to new features and things like that, we went through changelog, of course, and it's like Node 16, Webpack 5, minimum supported Vite plugins Svelte 241, rollup plugins Svelte 7.15, like Svelte loader 318. It's like, oh my. So
Not
there
much.
is nothing, not much actually, not much that will make a difference for you or would be a great feature, something like that. No, there are many bugs that were repaired. I can say that it's crazy. This changelog is very, very long, of course, but they are happy they've released stable number 4. It's a maintenance release. It took 3 years to release this version, but they are already working on version 5. This is obvious. Like, if you have this kind of framework, like, your plans are very long, and that's okay. But they are open about it, and they are working open on GitHub. So that's great. I think that's cool, because when I went to State of JS report 2022, there is no 2023 yet. When it comes to usage, Svelte in 2019, when it first appeared, had around 8% of users that participated in the survey. Next year, 2020, it was already 15, 21, 20. And right now it's stable, it's 21%. So we were waiting, like, Svelte 3 was for 3 years. And right now, Svelte 4 should upgrade the performance, which should help with, implementations, with making it possible for developers to use it, to be more interested in using it. And right now, we'll be waiting for more features and things to come. Like, definitely, Svelte Kit is a place that you should be looking for upgrades and updates about different functionalities of Svelte as well. But it's still awesome. So I'm happy about this update, although it's like better, faster, stronger, build is smaller, performance is better because we have Webpack 5.
From what I can see on their website and on the blog and changelog, etc., like they are preparing us for Svelte 5, and
Yes. Yeah.
It's easy to say, and I think it's very fair to say, if you're having a Svelte 3 point whatever, and you're thinking about what to do because you're saying, it's just maintenance, move it as quickly as you can, because probably there will be more changes coming with Svelte 4, and probably there will be really small changes to just make us prepared for the new Svelte. And when the Svelte 5 will come in, the migration will be easier than ever. So I love what they are doing. This is very straightforward, and that's it.
Also, one thing, please. Last thing, they have special information that they've been working on developer experience. This topic is gonna come back to us today again, and I really appreciate that. I think that currently, with the current state of JavaScript frameworks, libraries, and so on, we're at the stage where picking the library is not necessarily determined by the problem that you have. Most of them can give you server-side rendering or some components on server side or different configuration of setting it on edge locations or on some lambdas, like whatever, man, you name it. But developer experience, how convenient it is to work with this library framework, or just your solution is like this is getting more and more important. So developer experience, few important points here. They upgraded some help with IDEs and some small other things that were not so intuitive till now. So that's great. That's great. Also, site docs and tutorial. It's also something that's getting important now, like tutorials, right? Like, I understand you want me to install it and tinker around. Yeah, okay, but I don't have 2-3 hours of doing that, which is the time that I will need to spend to grab some concepts and ideas. Like, show me what you got. Show me what you got. And they are doing exactly that. So that's okay.
Yeah, that's great. If you really want to use repo, use it. learn it. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's go further. And we already today talked about Web Worldwide Consortium, and there we have a topic of secure payment confirmation. This is pretty interesting. This is something new from the 15th of June, and the concept is that we need a standard how we proceed actual confirmation for the checkout. And the idea is that we didn't have a standard, so Web3C tried to create one, and they created one as a candidate recommendation. And the idea is simple, to be as easy as it is right now with authentication, and having the same security as authentication right now, which means secure payment confirmation will be displaying to you a proper pop-up, which will look like having an authentication layer. As an example, you will have either biometrics for your touch ID or face ID or whatever, or if you have a token with the key, it will also work, because this standard is actually work with FIDO Alliance, which means a lot of companies will be actually using it. And the whole idea how it works, the idea is simple. You get the consent layer as the same as we do above the web authentication, and at transactional time, SPC prompts us to do a proper consent. Hey, do you want to buy it? Confirm it. Then when you confirm it, you add your touch, probably a touch, and then by this FIDO authenticator and band, there is a cryptographic validation. And that's it. When everything is changed, then payment goes in, and other part of the payment is done. But what is important is the proper security of the UI for the confirmation of the payment. And that's perfect. It's already recommended. And what's pretty cool, it is already even integrated and implemented in Chrome and Edge on macOS, Windows, and Android. That's super cool that we have standard that is a recommended way, and actually it is already integrated. You can use it. That's it.
Yeah, I'm reading that, first of all, W3C, Worldwide Web Consortium, was working since the beginning of the creation of the group responsible for creating the secure payment system since 2015. That's awesome. Yeah. Also, this not only goes to card payments. The Web Payments Working Group, this is the group that I wanted to mention, they were discussing SPC very widely, and there is a testimony of these discussions. Also, this web page is already in new layout, which is just nice to look like. Yeah. It's nice to look at. But also, they are thinking this proposition already integrates payments ecosystems such as open banking, PIX in Brazil, as I read, and other possible proprietary payment flows. And this other testimonials who they discussed it with is like EMVC, Ettersec, Fine, MasterCard, Knock Knock, Worldline, and these are all heads of departments, head of products that left their feedback about this document, and they are all fully supporting that. It's like, that's great. We need those kind of things. Like, we need standard.
We need a standard how to make a proper transactions and payments. Either it's card payment or whenever there is another across payment.
Any other
maybe
flow.
crypto, in the end of the day, but we need a standard how to make those payments secure. And for web developers who are building shops and all those user journeys, they need a standard which is easier to follow. So yeah.
We all do. It will just make our security better. It's like this is the topic, security of those things. Like if user does not understand how it works, what he should do, like first thing, like businesses are losing money because it would be very possible that they would buy something, but they're not sure about your sketch website, things like that. Yeah, and if you'll be using like, I don't know, Shopify or any other system for card payments, like. Okay, but not everybody uses those. So if there will be a standard, like it will be much easier for users not to be scammed, and be able to use web how they prefer to. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Also, of course, it can go always sideways. We know that Google exists and different things can happen, but it's nice that it was created. I hope that it will give us more transparency and safety in web, especially when it comes to our money, which can be like life-changing even if you make a mistake in web.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's very cool to have it. And as you said, things that being a life-changing or trying to be a life-changing, new Opera arrived.
Okay.
Please go on. Like I know you have a lot of to talk about.
It's like I'm happy that we can talk about Opera 1 exactly today. There is a thread on Twitter about new functionalities from past few days. But what's important for me is like I see that the browser is changing. Like the browser is changing. Like the desktop needs to change. This browser should not stay like it is. World is moving forward. We are using our computers differently. If you're working on a computer, the probability that you are not leaving your browser to do all your work, I believe it's somewhere around 90%. Even if you're professionally using Excel on something like that, you'll be using that in the cloud. Probably. Yeah. There are specialistic tools like graphic design, of course, and things like that. But other than that, most of the time, it will be browser or media player, right? This is what I would think. And the Opera 1 is another browser that is trying to, it already did, it's released. It's providing us with new UI. And I am old potato. I'm using Firefox since I remember I use browsers. I love my pick, although I'm getting much more irritated how it's not being supported because it's just not on the list of browsers that needs to be supported when developers are building projects, like 10 to 20% of the market, depending on experiment, on tests. And surveys, but this time Opera is providing this view that we've already seen. You're using Arc, right?
Yep.
For example, there is Arc, there is LT browser for developers. There are solutions that are like multiplying right now, and I feel like it's a boom. It's another boom because after Arc, which was, from my point of view, it was pretty loud. Like,
it was pretty loud, yeah.
It's not so loud as it might be, but from my developer perspective, it was loud. It was something new, something different. They tried to do something different, right? And Opera is also trying to do that. I don't see that with Edge. Okay, but Edge is like using their main page to display things, to give you this chat and this kind of things. Mm-hmm. But I don't see approach to new layout. Like you always have tabs, you can group them, you can always pin your tabs, bookmarks. Like these are the same things that we remember since 2000s.
I think that
it's still the same,
concept
right?
is that here we have we're trying to change the UI of a browser, how we interact with a browser actually,
Yes.
and
Yes.
how we interacted with Chrome for the first time with tabs. It's take up with us. Like we actually learned how to use it as a humans, and right now it's really hard to define and design something totally different. Art, what it does, it actually applied something Edge tried to do with vertical tabs. In Edge, some users use it, but most of those doesn't because verticals are disabled by default. Art is designed to be vertical in the has a sidebar for your tabs. It is cool. It has another kind of features like easels, etc., etc. But Opera is coming in a different approach. As an example, we know how grouping works, but Opera is thinking that those groups should be done by default to make your browsing more contextual. In the end of the day, it will be better for us to find what we need to find. Will it be better? Nobody knows.
Yeah, but
we'll
it's a
see.
long game.
It is a long game. Actually, I'm really interested in how those browsers will work out. I'm really
because we are talking about new users.
yeah,
right?
exactly. And I'm also very interested how those companies like Opera or browser company or whoever will actually try to figure out maybe we need a new engine for JS. Maybe something new needs to be done to make their browsers better. Because from right now what we have underneath Opera and Art, it's actually it runs on Chromium. That there is nothing new actually for us as a web developers. It is cool because it provides us a standard, and whenever there is a new version of Chromium, it is everywhere. That's super, but the problem with it is that it is very hard to change things in terms of how we interact with web and how we interact with browsers. So right now we're in that state, I think, that we have very structured how web development works and how web works. And
Yes,
we're
exactly.
trying to, as developers, we're trying to think about, hey, this is very cool to have standards, but we want to push it forward. And to push it forward, we actually need to break the status quo that we know right now to be the Wild West that was in the 90s. And that will be very hard to do, in my opinion. So Arc and Opera is trying to make those changes applicable and those changes to be pushed forward for us to as humans to make it as little steps. Yeah? And maybe someday we'll have something better underneath. Maybe our browser company will come to us and say, hey, you know what? We built it on Chromium, but we actually don't like it. We want to be on WebKit. That's fine with me, but I would love to see that if there will be that kind of ideas.
Yeah, it's a change. Also, the AI engine is integrated. So searching web browsers, there is an AI here. Like it's a buzzword right now, and AI is everywhere. But here it is as well. And last thing that I'd like to say, this browser is named Opera 1. It's a celebration referring to Opera hitting browser version 100. And from now, as they wrote on Twitter, from now Opera naming scheme will be updated every year. So I assume that's right now there'll be release of Opera 1 version, this and that, and another year it will change to Opera 2 or something like that. That's nice. That's nice. Nice. I feel that rebranding is going strong here, and okay, let's go.
It looks good. I already installed it. I didn't yet use that, but I will try new Opera.
Yeah, I've got around 7 browsers on my desktop. It's like, it's like, I have
Being
5
a web
cars, so I
developer,
don't know which one I'll be driving today. Yeah, so I have 7 browsers. How many do you have?
How many? Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the last mini tiny news. Is it news? I think it's just interesting project, and I think that there is some momentum in community when it comes to this kind of things. UnsuckJS. This project was created by Adam Gill. Adam Gill is providing feedback to many different repositories on GitHub. As he describes himself on GitHub, he's just a simple developer trying to make web a better place. That's cool. I like this ideology. And UnsuckJS, what is it? Progressively enhance HTML with lightweight JavaScript libraries. No build tools, no compilers, and no hassle. So these are just tools that you can use in your plain HTML and will not like slow your project. It will just give you something to work with to make it interactive and so on. They are lightweight and created just for that purpose. So for example, of course, Preact is on that list. And it's a list of projects. There is Vun.js that we've already talked about. It's like Vun.js is cool. I've already tested them. It's cool. Rec and Alpine.js, Mithril, Crank, Lit. These are the libraries that you can use directly in HTML, like don't care about any other process. And what I thought when I first saw that, because it gained momentum because this web page appeared on Hacker News. So when you appear on Hacker News, it's obvious it's not necessarily obvious, but you will gain some momentum, right? And what I first thought when I seen that, it's like, yeah, let it be simple. Let it be simple. Allow us from time to time just to make something simple. Like if I need to create something, why do I need to create automatic CI/CD pipeline, something that will build
Why do
everything?
I need Next.js to create a simple, very simple website?
Yes.
Yeah, or a simple
Yes. Yes, exactly. If you're JavaScript developer, you're not React developer, then like you're JavaScript developer. Maybe you're front-end engineer. If you're front-end engineer, you're not React developer, you're not Vue developer. Like keep your mind open and look for other solutions. Like recently I've seen really small, what was it doing? I don't even remember, but there was some proof of concept created within a company, and it was with Angular. It's like, yes, we do need Angular for proof of concept. It's like, come on, man. Come on. You could write that in Notepad with these small libraries. And all those libraries, of course, because of their purpose and how they are created, they are small, flexible, can be easily loaded through CDN, will not break anything. There's HTMX. It's like HTML on steroids or something like that. Of course, Preact. Yeah, so small description, license, and this kind of things. And I think it's a great idea. There's a question in README. Shouldn't it be an awesome repo? Awesome repo is a set of repositories with different examples or great starter projects, boilerplates, things like that. Answer, yeah, probably. Why use Kotlin to build this site? Also because it's my site and I wanted to. Yeah, okay. It's like, that's exactly it. Let's make it simple. Did this guy had to use any extra tools to create this project and to leave this information well organized for developers to find? Nah, he did not have to, and he didn't do that. It's like,
it's actually
let's
like,
go with it.
I really like the name, like UnsuckJS, which means you don't need a big JS libraries like React, Next, even Vue and Svelte, which are a little bit smaller, but still, you don't need them. HTML and like the JS that is right now very powerful language, and there's really small packages that might help you, but that's it. They are not very.
It's not necessarily required.
It is not necessarily required, yeah. And if you want to use them, but and probably they will not harm your either performance. You don't need to create your build scripts, use Webpack or whatsoever. Just write the code and be very strict about it.
Let's don't forget that whole form with submit functionality can be created only with HTML. You don't need anything else. This is HTML functionality. You don't need JavaScript to write that, build that, send that to your server or whatever. You don't have to. And the method, the definition, the thing here is to enhance HTML with lightweight JavaScript. That will give you this and that, not to build something with JavaScript, you know. That's
exactly the way. Exactly.
All right, that will be all from my side, Peter. Like, I believe it's a summertime. You know, there are not many things, not so heavy things happening. Like, people are having vacation and this. Well, vacation. Northern hemisphere is having vacation, but other than that, it's like not so much is happening right now.
Yeah, like we're in what they call it a cucumber season. Some things is happening, and probably we'll talk every single week about something which is interesting, like we did today. But in the end of the day, not much is happening in terms of new updates, new things, because like conferences are happening, but those are mostly.
But even those are more rarely happening right now. Like even those are happening more rarely.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much, JJ, to be here today. And
thanks, man.
That will be it. Thank you very much for watching. See ya.
Thanks. See ya. Hey, thanks for staying till the end. This is obviously outro message with all the links and information that could help you to support us or just contact us. And we greatly appreciate both. This channel is not supported by any big company or organization, so any donation is really gonna make a big difference and will allow us to expand and provide more content like that for you. You can contact us on social media like TikTok or Instagram for now. Also, we have special email address if you'd like to reach out to us or just give us feedback. We really appreciate that and we're looking forward to hearing from you. And if you really think that we've earned it, you can buy us a coffee. Links here. So thank you again. All the links are down in the description and see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe.